Hello, lovelies. Today, let's talk about how we build our self-trust after ignoring ourselves for far too long, ignoring our intuition, ignoring our inner knowing, ignoring our gut. The first part of this video will be answering that question, and the second part is kind of like a bonus. It's more dealing with how we build self-trust in general. I think that is a major part of building your self-trust again and your intuition into your inner knowing, is being able to trust yourself with the small things. So if you want to take a little bit of a deeper dive for a few more minutes, definitely stick around for the second part of the video. Now, the first step, the first thing I feel that I did myself that helped me with listening to my intuition, my gut feeling more, because I had ignored it, tuned it out for so long. And I think the first part is forgiveness. Now, hear me out. You're probably like, what? Sometimes you have to forgive yourself, have self-compassion for yourself because you've done these things for so long. You might be beating yourself up because things have happened in your life where you're like, if I would have just listened to my inner voice, listened to my gut, I could have got out of this. Now, if you're doing that, I think the first step, forgiveness. I forgive me for ignoring my intuition, for ignoring my gut for this long, for ignoring the inner guide, my compass. I'm sorry, but I promise going forward, I'm going to listen and learn. I'm going to listen and follow. I'm going to listen and be guided. The second step is practice. Practice with baby steps. Start to pay attention to your intuition. Start paying attention to your gut. When you get that nudge, follow it. See if it is in fact right, if it's protecting you or if it's leading you in the wrong way, the wrong path. It could be something totally different. And I guess this will be a good time to say, what is the difference? Because some people might be thinking this, like, what is the difference between anxiety and inner knowing, intuition, gut feeling, Holy Spirit, all these things? What is the difference? I feel like intuition comes from a place of calm, of ease. It is guiding. It is a compass. You're not going to feel all angsty and anxious and all these things about it. You're going to feel led towards it. Whereas anxiety comes from a place of fear. It comes from you're anticipating or planning or thinking of what may happen. And so you're acting based on that. And it's usually based off of previous encounters you've had. So start to pay attention when you feel that guide saying, go left versus right, or to not answer the phone, or to not talk to that guy, or to not go into that store. Pay attention to it. Another thing that may come up for you is you might say, I don't have an intuition anymore. I don't feel anything anymore. And the reason this might happen, I had like, what do you say? Not an epiphany, but I was able to relate to something. I was thinking about how people stopped having hunger cues. There are people who have subconsciously, or not subconsciously, intentionally or unintentionally, like ignored their hunger cues to the point that they don't get them anymore. This could be due to a fitness thing. You have this certain goal, so you're just not eating, you're under eating. It could be because you were literally forced not to eat. There's a whole bunch of reasons why this could happen. And some people, their hunger cues will literally turn off. And I think of it the same way as intuition. I related it to that in the sense that you may have ignored it for so long that now it just doesn't even guide you anymore, or your body silences it to the point where you still get the nudge, but you don't receive it because you're not paying attention to it. Your body deemed that to not be important based on everything else going on in your life. And another reason could just be that you're in a state of survival mode right now. So your body's not even functioning to even listen to that. And if that is the case, that is some other inner work, deeper inner work that needs to be done to start to expose or reveal the inner guide to you, the inner compass. The third step I did and I feel is very helpful is start to take mental or physical notes when you start to listen to your inner guide, to your intuition, and see if it matches up. If what you felt in your heart, if it came to pass. There's so many men and so many women where they dated a guy, but when they first met them, they had this vibe or this feeling that they shouldn't, but they did it anyway. Oh, he's tall. Oh, he has the money. Oh, she's fine. Oh, she has this, or she does this special thing, you know, whatever that is. But then they feel it in the moment when they met them or during the process where they had this nudge to leave. And there's so many people, because I read a lot about relationships, and it's so interesting that there are so many people who got married to people that they knew they shouldn't have got married to. Like they knew in their gut, they even wrote it in their journals before they got married, maybe this isn't the right decision, but I'm this age, or this, or who's going to come around that's better than him, or who's going to come around that's better than her. And they regretted it in the end. Not saying every relationship is a regret, not at all. But these are specifically people who noticed, I had this feeling, this guy tell me not to do it, and I did it anyway. I didn't listen to myself. I went against it. And when you start to do this, you'll start to see like, okay, maybe sometimes it isn't your intuition. It's not a guide. Sometimes it is your anxiety speaking, or fear, or traumas. Sometimes it's not your actual guide, and you'll start to notice that, because there might have been times when you felt like you were listening to your intuition and everything went wrong. Maybe it wasn't your intuition. I can't tell you. I'm not you, but you can reflect and see if that is the case. Fourth and lastly, this kind of ties into number 3, but be consistent in acknowledging the inner guide, your intuition, noticing it, honoring it. If you continuously do this, you will start to build up that muscle. Your body will start to trust that you keep your word, that what you say is in fact the truth, that you are not. If you think about cognitive dissonance, your brain doesn't like you having different beliefs. It wants you to have one belief, because if it's conflicting, you're saying, I'm going to do this. You're saying that my inner guide said this, but then you go do something different. It's confusing to your brain. So just start acknowledging and paying attention, and do it consistently. And as you consistently do it, those micro wins, those micro moments of seeing that your intuition, your gut was right, you will start to build that trust up again. And that's why I come into this point of, how do we start trusting ourselves? Because a lot of us, we don't trust ourselves anymore because we've broken so many promises to ourselves. This is a reminder to trust yourself as a guide that your body knows. Your body has all these awesomes. It's just, God made it's incredible how advanced our bodies are. How we could not even know we're in danger consciously, but subconsciously your hairs on the back of your body rise. There are so many tools that are made into our body. They're ingrained in us to help us stay safe and to help us be guided to the right space. So listen to that and trust it. Like I was saying, so many of us have done so many things, broken so many promises to ourselves, that our bodies just don't believe us anymore. They don't believe. They're like, girl, you said you were going to get up and go walk 10 minutes, but you haven't done it yet. Girl, you said you were going to go to that specific movie or that specific dance class and you didn't go. You said you were going to read that book. You said you were going to go to this country. You said you were going to move. And those are big things, but I'm just using them all as examples. Now, the question maybe for you is, how do I start to trust myself again? And I know I made a video on this. I just can't remember when it was, or if I was just talking about it. I probably talk about it a lot because it's something that's very interesting to me. But building that self-trust takes small baby steps, small habits. You have to start keeping promises to yourself, no matter how small they are. And if you continue to do this, your body, yourself, you will trust you. Small examples. You say you're going to read, you don't have to read the whole book. Go read one page. Go read one paragraph. Go dedicate 1 minute, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, depending on your level. Go on that walk for 5 minutes. Or if it's just, I'm going to go down my driveway or to my mailbox. And it's so small. But if you keep doing it, you're like, oh, I do keep my word. I could do something bigger. Maybe you don't record the video. Maybe it's just that you have to set up the camera. I can't tell you what that small thing is, but if you start to do it, you will see results. Using myself as an example, I start with baby habits all the time, because if I start way too big, sometimes it's too big and I don't complete it. For me, I'm going to run a 5K in a couple weeks, or a few weeks, about a month from now. I'm going to run a 5K. And it's funny because I have spent years to get to this point of running. I have had terrible pains in my ankle, my hip, my knee, ankles, I should say, all kinds of things. And I worked very hard, consistently and inconsistently. There was times where I was just not consistent, to build and strengthen my body to get to this point. And I remember I think it was January, it was the first week of January, I don't remember which day, but I was like, you know what, I'm going to go for it. And I ran. And I believe it was a whole mile. I ran a whole mile and I couldn't believe it, because the last time I tried to run was about a year ago and I was in so much pain. My hip was hurt. Everything was hurting terribly. And the year before that, I couldn't even jog because my ankle, everything was jacked up. Everything was jacked up. And the fact of the matter that I ran that mile, I can't remember if I cried or I was about to cry. I was like, you kept your word. in my word. People are probably like, well, why are you going to do a 5K where you, because my goal is to run the whole thing, jog it, whatever. The point is to jog or run the whole thing and not walk at all. And some people are like, well, you could walk and run. That's not my goal. My goal is to jog the whole thing, the 5K. That is my goal, because I want to prove to myself that I can keep promises, that you made a promise to yourself about a decade ago. I think maybe it's a little less than a decade ago. You made this promise and we're going to keep it and we're going to do it. And so every day that I'm supposed to train, I show up for the training. If I go to bed when I need to, I don't go to certain things. This is not a small habit. This has become a big habit for me. But it started in the beginning with just walking up the street. It started with just doing the stretches 5 minutes a day. It started with the small things. And I kept making these promises to myself and keeping them. And as you build upon those things, you keep on progressing, your brain will believe it. If you start saying things like, I'm going to be a millionaire, it will be like, oh, yep. Because when she says she's going to do something, she does it. And that's why and that's why I say to you with the bottom of my heart, please listen to what your guide, your intuition is saying. Please trust yourself too. Please do the work, the mental, the small things to do it. If you're writing the book, write 1 page, write for 10 minutes, write for 5 minutes. If it's about school, study for that 5 minutes and go on a walk. Maybe for you, it's like you have to watch something. I can't tell you. Science projects, whatever that small thing is, do that thing for 5 minutes, a couple minutes, and see how your life begins to change. Because that confidence that comes from that is, I can't describe it. That dopamine hit is bigger than watching any video, than being able to accomplish what I said I was going to do is powerful. It is powerful. And that is all, because now I'm probably rambling at this point, but I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions or you feel like we need to continue on this topic for another video in the future, definitely let me know in the comments. But until next week, I'll see you then. Thank you so much for watching. With all my love, Lana.